And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Edgy Tim is here. Coach Rod is here. The best high school football fans in the state are here. It's time for Pigskin Preview. Coaches, players, fans, and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview. Powered by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and John Wright.
And good evening and welcome. It is the Week 4 edition. My, oh my, does this go by fast? Welcome to the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. Yep, that stupid little goofy sports show that you get stuck listening to on Thursday night. Yep, welcome back. Glad to have you aboard. Edgy Tim here, along with the coach Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. And gentlemen, we are back for another exciting week of high school football here in the Will County area, as well as across the state of Illinois. And Joe?
Yes, sir.
Glad you're able to make your way in. I know traffic continues to be an unbelievable challenge. By the way, I just got here from Lockport on Wednesday. So
at every turn, there's construction. I just don't get it.
Like, so we had to go to Lockport for something. So, you know, living in Shanahan, I generally kind of backdoor my way through downtown Joliet, and getting there was fine. There's a little bit of work downtown and on 53 and able to make my way through. And then I went back the 9th Street Bridge. Yeah, and that was a big mistake. That was a real big mistake. But hey, if you're sitting in traffic, we feel it. We hear you. We know how it is. But hang in there. We'll do our best to try to keep you entertained for your next hour or two. We'll be here from 6 to 8. We always welcome your phone calls, 815-254-7300. This show and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by our State Farm agents, Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Our broadcast schedule this weekend is as follows: 6:05 Friday Night Lights with his Q rating is skyrocketing lately. Tony, your man, guiding you through Friday Night Lights, telling you he's a star in the making. He'll bring it. He'll get you set up, set the scene for you. Yes, we have a different game. We did make the change, by the way. So this Friday night, our game of the week will be Joliet Catholic hosting Marist. Coach Joe, a terrific matchup. And, well, let's face it, at this point, they're all kind of big games.
They're all big right now.
So looking forward to that. Of course, the tripod will be on the call. Evan Bredesen, Joe Rodriguero, Dave Dwyer. At this point, isn't Dewey's son almost part of the broadcast?
Yes,
and pretty soon we're gonna have to get rid of the tripod and figure something different. So we'll work that out. He's just a punk kid, so we really don't need to put him in just yet. But you know,
they don't be talking that way about my guy, John.
I know, he's my guy too. So there you go. Tomorrow night, 6:05. Start with Friday Night Lights, and then 7:30 kickoff. Marist at Joliet Catholic. Coach Joe?
Yes, sir.
The Week 4 Edgy Tim WJOL Big 5 poll is as follows.
We have a new number 5. The Wilmington Wildcats at 5. Lincoln Way West at 4. Minooka at 3. Joliet Catholic at 2. And Lincoln Way East at 1.
That is the Week 4 WJOLEdgytim.com Big 5 poll. You can get that every Monday morning with Scott Slocum in the morning. Joe, let's, by the way, if you want to call in, we do have this segment open. We'll also have the 7:05 segment open. We have guests this evening. Jeff Reents from Wilmington will join us at 6:25. We'll preview his big home game tomorrow night against the Tone. Luke Lokank will join us at 6:45. The Wild West, Lincoln Way West, off to an impressive 3-0 start. Our guy, Anthony Pignatello from, well, maybe arguably one of the greatest high schools ever of all high schools, Thornton Fractional North, who is also off to a 3-0 start, just whipped up on their arch rival again. So we will talk to Coach Pig and see how things are going, and always fun to have him aboard. Then for you JCA fans, don't go anywhere. 7:45, Mike Fitzgerald, the highly successful young head coach, started at Marist, went over to York, back over at Marist, and Joe, he does not skip a beat.
No, he does not. He's doing a great job. He did a great job at York and doing a great job at Marist.
We would like to say hello to everyone watching us online, either on Facebook or the YouTube channel. It's EDGYTIM channel. If you're looking for it on YouTube, by all means, go find it and watch. Our guy Matt is out there. So, by the way, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can DM us and send us any snide comments you want. We might use it, we might not. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, Joe. But Matt says hello to everybody, and
at the Sean and Mather game, I think he said.
Yeah, there you go. He's a diehard.
Yep, he sure is.
He's a diehard.
Almost as bad as you.
He goes to some interesting games. There's no doubt. Joining us early tonight, beating in Bob. Bob losing track a little bit there. Greg joins us. Hello, Greg.
Hey guys, what's up?
Nothing much.
Well, welcome aboard, and good to have you. And well, it's nice to see. I have the feeling the Griffins are going to get a little bit of test, which is exactly what they need right about now.
I tell you what, I saw North play Central, Lincoln Way Central last week.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, Central snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in that game.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got there in the midway through the first quarter because I was over at the East game. I wanted to see at least a little bit of that, and they had started early at 6, so made it easy to watch that debacle and then get over to Central. But as it was getting over to Central, they missed a field goal, which was a portent of things to come.
Yeah.
Because I gotta tell you, the rest of the first half, there was not an offensive series where Central didn't either have a penalty, a botched handoff that resulted in a fumble and lost yards, or some other screw up that cost them. They should have been leading 14-0 at half, I'll tell you. And then in the second half, of course, Naperville North, which does have a good quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you what you thought of Jacob Bell of Naperville North, their senior quarterback.
Yeah, tall, thin guy, good athlete, can throw the long ball. All right, and they have a couple of good running backs too. They're tough, but Central was pretty much stopping them until early in the second half. They got to. I don't think they got. No, they didn't get the second half kickoff, but their first possession they went down and scored. Which you got to give them something. They got some talent.
Yep.
Okay, and then Lincoln Way Central woke up and stopped shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Scored
2 touchdowns, and they're ahead. Okay, 14-7 with about 4 minutes to go in the game. And the quarterback from North hit on a long pass down the left-hand side. And I got to say, it was a perfect pass. It was about 45, 50 yards.
Yep.
But the Central defensive back was there. He just didn't make a play on the ball. Anyway, 14-14. Okay, neither team could score in the final minutes. They went to overtime. Lincoln Way Central had the ball first. They went in about 3 plays. Didn't take them anything. And they went in and scored, but they missed the extra point. Okay, so 20-14. And now, the defense has got to do it for Central. And they did. For 3 plays, they held. It's 4th and 16. You got to be feeling good if you're Lincoln Way Central coach.
No doubt.
Well, the quarterback goes to back the pass. He looks one way, throws back to the left again, and this was like a wing and a prayer. The cornerback should have knocked it down. Didn't knock it, didn't make a play on the ball, touchdown. And of course they kicked the extra point, and that was the game.
Wow.
I got to tell you, cornerback play really bothers me right now in high school.
Welcome to high school football.
Yeah, welcome to high school football.
Come on, Joe. Let's talk about it.
Yes. No, I tend to.
Go ahead.
I agree with you. I mean, we saw it Friday night against with Joliet Catholic and Fenwick. Although Fenwick, we'll talk about the game. Fenwick did go for 2. They scored late in the game. They went for 2, and the corner did a nice job and batted the ball down. But corner play so far this year, the games that I've seen, hasn't been very good at all, Greg.
Part of the problem, guys, no one wants to play corner in high school. No one does. And I'm telling you, you get a kid that Joe has halfway the ability, and if he has a motivation to do it, look, you have to have the shortest memory in the history of man to play corner. You just do.
Right.
You just do. It's literally play by play. And if you're able to do that, you're probably going to have some success. But guys, it is statewide. It is a problem finding really good corners that can play the position well.
Well, can I tell you one thing? You know, I told you I'm an old timer. When I was coming up, there was a guy that played for the Detroit Lions named Dick Night Train Lane. You probably heard of him.
Know the name?
Yes, know the name.
Oh, I'll tell you, he was one of the most physical corners I ever saw. And when I'm talking physical, when the ball got there, he raked the receiver's arms, punched their hands, punched the ball. I mean, they knew he was coming. And that's what cornerbacks are not doing today. They're going up and they're playing basketball. They're trying to body up and tip the ball away. That ain't going to do it.
Yeah,
you got to be physical. You got to let them know you're there. They're the enemy. They're trying to embarrass you. Get mad.
I totally agree. And when I do come across a corner that can play physical, can actually support the run, and it's unique. You don't see it all the time. And again, those are the kids that usually end up playing college ball because of those skills. So yeah, I agree for sure. Greg, what's interesting this year is I think you're going to see a lot more I hope better results than that. But I think with this merge of the DVC, you're going to see a lot of close games this year.
Oh yeah. Those two teams are very close.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, I think East is going to terrorize Naperville North's defense.
Yeah.
I like their offense a bit. North's got a pretty good offense, but their defense will not hold up.
That's been
Lincoln
that's been the problem at North for the last handful of years, is that defensively they've given up some stuff. So, all right, Greg. Hey, always good to hear from you.
Thanks.
And,
okay, guys.
Don't be a stranger.
All
right. Greg joined us. We appreciate that. But yeah, guys, that had come. Joe, you know that I hear you talking about that probably every Friday night about corner play.
Right. To Greg too, the coach, they work on that stuff. They work on but again, when you get in the game, the heat of the moment, they want to get the interception rather than bat the ball down. I've seen in the games I've done where team is 4th and 15 or 4th and 25, and the guy intercepts the ball 40 yards downfield and goes down. Prime example, did a recruiting update today did an update on, you know what, I'll get to that later. Let's go to Bob. Bob, we're gonna bop you in here real quick, but we're up against it.
All right. This is Bob.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got
you. Hi, Bob. We got
What's
you.
up, guys?
Not much.
What do you think the Hill's going to do tomorrow night?
That's a tough one. The offense has to show up, Bob. It really does.
I really think they got to learn how to throw the ball a little bit.
Run and pass has to show up. This is a very good Marist team. This is a big Marist team up front on both sides.
They are.
You're not going to push them around. Ironically, they got to transfer in Jacob Ritter, who's taken over a quarterback, who's been a nice find for them. It's a tough one, Bob. There's no doubt. Yep. It's going to be a really, really tight, close game, I feel.
Oh, I think so too.
They have a very balanced offense, pass and run. But as Edgy said, I watched them on tape. Their line is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Their offensive.
Brad Fitzgibbon already committed to, where did he commit to? I'll find Iowa. He's Iowa. Defensive lineman committed to Iowa. Got a couple of other athletes that are already another DN, Achilles Anderson, committed to Harvard, but he had multiple bigger offers scholarship wise. So they're good. They're good.
All righty.
7:45. Mike Fitzgerald from Marist will join us, Bob. So you might want to tune in there.
All righty.
All right, pal.
I'll see you tomorrow night, Bob.
See you.
Night.
All right, Bob drops off. We're going to step aside and take a break. Don't go anywhere. We come back. The Dean of Coaches in the Will County area, Jeff Reents, will join us from Wilmington. You're listening to Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
Hey, high school football fans. We are happy to announce this week's Malloy State Farm and Pigskin Preview Player of the Week. We would like to congratulate inside linebacker Josh Feldman, who had 12 tackles for a combined minus 15 yards and a blocked PAT in Lincoln Way West 41-19 victory over Andrew. Josh and his parents will join us along with Coach Thomas on December 8th at the award ceremony at Gatto's in New Lenox, sponsored by Frank Gatto, a great partner to this program. Congratulations, Chase.
Join WJOL and ExxonMobil at the 7th Annual Battle of the Brave, a day of live radio broadcasts to benefit the 100 Club of Will County. Since 1967, the 100 Club of Will County has supported families of firefighters, policemen, and emergency responders who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Visit WJOL at Inwood Athletic Club on Thursday, September 26th to show your support for our first responders. Visit WJOL.com for times and more details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Elegance Underneath is the solution to all your bra shopping needs. I'm Dawn Clutta, the owner of Elegance Underneath in Naperville, and for over 16 years, we've been serving women of all shapes and sizes who just want a great fitting, beautiful, and comfortable bra. Do you wear a hard to fit size? At Elegance Underneath, we stock band sizes 28 to 54 and A through O cup. We carry the latest colors, styles, and fashions in the highest quality brands, plus a selection of shapewear panties and more. At Elegance Underneath, our True Fit fitting will revolutionize the way you look and feel in your clothes. I'm also a board-certified mastectomy fitter, so if you're looking for post-surgical products, we even have those too. New customers always enjoy a discount on all full-price merchandise and no appointment needed. Like Elegance Underneath on Facebook, and come see us at Route 59 and 95th Street in Naperville.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen. And gentlemen, we were talking former NFL greats during the break and guys that could just bring it and hit. And, of course, we talked about Dick Butkus, and I gave Joe my favorite Dick Butkus moment, which I think is a lot of people's, when on the botched extra point, and they throw him the 2-point conversion pass, and Butkus keeps it and turns around and just sticks it in the guy's face right next to him. And the guy knocks it out of his hand. Still one of my favorite all-time Dick Butkus moments. Hey, we're going to go out to the phone lines. We're going to be joined by the veteran head coach, the dean of the area of head coaches, Joe.
Yes.
Sure, we'll roll with that. Jeff Reents joins us from Wilmington. Good evening, sir.
Hey, guys. Good one.
So we were talking some NFL greats and talking about more on the defensive side and guys that were just unbelievable hitters. Who are a couple of your favorites back in the day?
Oh, when I was in high school, it was the '85 Bears.
Yeah.
And in my younger, I guess my grade school days, it was Doug Plank and Fensick.
Yeah.
But now when you got to the '84, '85, '86 Bears, I was a huge Mike Singletary guy.
Yep.
And then you go Wilbur Marshall, Otis Wilson, all those guys in that era. I just love watching them. I love watching the way they played. And right in line with all the other great linebackers of the Bears.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, again, here you go, 3-0 start. Things are rolling along, but you got a big one Friday night.
We got a really big one. Yeah, Coach Telly at Piatone's, again, done a really good job. He's got a lot of kids back from last year. I know we talked in the preseason about who we thought comp-wise would be really good, and I said right away I thought Piatone was going to be at the top of that list, and they've proven here in the first three games to be very good. We got we're facing an identical team. There's not a lot of spread offense tomorrow night. There's not trip. There's not five wide. This is double tight coming right at you. My guess is the game might take about an hour and 45 minutes,
Nice.
guys. But it's going to be tough on tough, and a lot of respect for what they're doing.
Jeff, I saw a little bit of the game last week, and of course, Kyle Farrell does Kyle Farrell things, but the other two running backs, not bad at all. But what surprised me more is that you got a guy that can throw the football this year too, Lucas Rink, who I think he threw 2 touchdown passes last week.
Yeah, no, he did. He did well for us last week, and I think that's kind of the thing going into tomorrow night a little bit. I think they do a great job of running the ball. The Velasquez kid at quarterback, though, is somebody that we really got to watch. Their quarterback, he does a really nice job. And then Luke for us has done a nice job for us too, running our offense. He got a touchdown pass last week, like you said. And we're just like Piatone and everybody else. You're trying to make steps from game one to now it's game 4. Where are we at? Where can we improve? And I think we've taken some steps to try to get our offense.
Jeff, at this time of the year, health wise, doing okay? Is it kind of that, you just gotten past the first kind of quarter of the regular season, little bumps and bruises, stuff like that? How are things shaping up so far?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. We got some bumps and bruises that we got to watch during the week of practice a little bit. I think everybody's probably doing it right now, but one thing, our kids have said, and we talk about it every year, guys, is I can't believe this. We're going into week 4.
Yeah.
And, it seems like the preseason, it takes forever to get through those first couple weeks. And then when the games start rolling, this thing just, kind of takes off. And, it's something we talk to our seniors about particularly. Hey, I tell them, I said, I wish I could slow this down for you. I said, but that means your season's going well. That means things are going good. So let's try to make sure we try to keep things moving in the right direction. And I think our kids have done a nice job of that. But, we find out tomorrow night against a good test in Piatone.
Jeff, just speaking of that, you talked about Piatone, their offense, and they've got some backs that can run 3 guys with the quarterback. But so far defensively, you guys have been doing pretty well. I think I figured this out with my math skills, giving up only about 8-9 points a game. So the defense as a whole, I know last year you talked about the defense being very quick. Is it kind of similar to last year's defense?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're not going to be bigger than too many people. There's no doubt about that. But I think speed-wise is where I like us. And now we go against a powerful football team like Piatone. And, how are we going to do against that type of power attack, I think is something that we have to deal with and a great test for us. But I would compare us a little bit to last year's team, a little bit defensively. I like our team speed. I like the way our kids get after the football, and that's something we're going to have to do tomorrow night.
What's the personality of this team this year? I mean, every year, we've talked about this before. Every year, it seems like every team has a little bit different of a vibe and a little bit different of a feel. What is it with this group? Because let's face it, you graduated some really good seniors, but you still have some of those leaders. You have the Kyle Farrell still on board. What's kind of the feel with this team? A little goofy, a little serious. What's kind of the take for them this year?
You know, we talked about that tonight, as a matter of fact, at our preseason or our pregame dinner tonight. Is you know, how the kids have come along from game one to you know what will be game 4 tomorrow, and you know they started the season. There's no doubt, as we looked around, you know, over the summer, there were some great football players that were that had graduated. So, you know, how's this team going to be? You know, and I think you got to be careful because there's great expectations for our kids that you know, to have a great season, and they want to do well, you know, obviously. And so, but I told them at the beginning of the year, matter of fact, during the summer, hey, how we're going to come together. And I think right now what you got is they're getting a good understanding of playing with one another. You know, they know more than anybody how to push buttons with each other to get them to play their best that they can. The thing I like about this group, and this is carried over from last year, is, and even our, you know, the success of our baseball team last year too, is they're holding each other accountable. You know, that they know that if practice isn't going well, that they know, and they know how to pick it up and to do things that way. And I think if you were talking to Coach Tully, matter of fact, I listened to you guys last week, and he was on, and he's saying the same things about his kids, you know, and their leadership with that senior group. And you guys know as well as I do, that's where it starts. You know, the coaches can take you to a point, but when the kids take over, that's when you know that things are starting to move in the right direction. And I think we're almost there. I really do. So, you know, obviously with tomorrow night, you know, we'll have this great test and see what we come out of there. But I'm really liking the way our leadership's starting to take over.
Like I always say, Jeff, the coaches coach, but the players determine the outcome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I you know, that's one thing is we run for home games. As we run down the hill, I say, plus when we come out of the woods, I said, you guys are inside the white lines. We got to stay outside the white lines.
Yep.
So you guys got to take over, and you guys got to communicate with us what's going on. And so they've done a nice job with that.
So the other day I was looking over some results and schedules from earlier in the year, and I look at your schedule, and again, you had a game this year like against Hope Academy, a team you probably, I don't think you got. Was this the first time you ever played them? Hope?
Yes, it's first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, a little bit different, kind of a team you generally wouldn't be connected to, which I think is awesome. I wish every year coaches would be able to just go find a different opponent and get a different look. And I know in your situation, it's probably a little harder because let's face it, not everybody wants to step up and play Wilmington. I don't necessarily know. I blame them sometimes, but if you could, is there a program out there that maybe in the back of your mind you've always wanted to play? I think I might know the answer to this, but I want to hear what you have to say. Is there one in particular you always wanted to play?
Well, first off, going back to the Chicago Hope situation, what a great deal that was. You know, that you know, we hadn't played them before, and you know, to be Coach Mount does a great job there, and to be around them and what their program does, and boy, they were really well coached. But there's no doubt when you look throughout the state, you know, when you get calls sometimes, there's no doubt that, you know, you have to say to yourself, do we want to tackle this or you know, what exactly do we want to do?
Right.
But, you know, there's a number of teams out there that, you know, it goes two ways, right, coaching-wise. It goes, boy, that'd be great to play. But then you're thinking to yourself, okay, do I really want to play?
Yeah.
You know. But the competitor in you says, yeah, let's go play. But,
All right. I haven't heard a name yet. Just saying.
Oh, I don't. I'm staying away from that edge. There's, you know what? There's always the teams that run the ball well. We always, those coaches seem to share that same type of the double wing T. You know, here we come type of deal. And so, but. I mean, there's a number of teams out there that you know. We have our ever wonderful online audience watching this, making suggestions right now, and this is one of the ones. This is one of the ones I thought of. You ready? Yeah, this is a good one, Jeff. Yeah. How about Lena Winslow? You know what? Me and Coach have talked in the past. And that would be. You know, you never know how that matches up. But boy, what a great program! Yeah, what a great program! Yeah, for sure. And to see them play is oh, that'd be as good as they get. They play great football in that part of the state over there.
Yeah.
And, just like you guys said, though, we played, we've been Marengo, Johnsburg, we've been Chicago Hope. We've gone big schools. And, I think my thing would be is this, to play a team from another part of the state. I think that is a great thing.
Yeah.
And
totally agree.
And we would definitely look into doing something along those lines with them. But that's a great program right there.
Well, and again, that was Carmine Gallo. Is it Gallo? Yeah. Gallo that suggested that. So I want to give him credit for that. Jeff, I totally agree. And I think what would be interesting too is your style of football. It is played all over the state. I mean, you can find programs that do a very good job of running stuff very similar to what you do. So, I mean, I think a lot of those schools would be more inclined. The one that came to my mind, and again, I know it's a bigger school, and how about Marist? How crazy would that get?
No, I'm going home now. That's
what I'm saying. Why do you think I suggested it?
Now you're throwing things out there. But, we'll see on that, Edge. Great program, boy. That's where I learned that's my roots.
I think
Coach Darlington over there. That's a lot going on for me right there. But Coach Dorsey's doing a great job.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens with all that. But got nothing but respect for Coach Dorsey and what they do over there. Those guys are great.
Joe, I think Jeff, I hear Jeff blushing. I hear blushing over the radio.
You're my guy. I'll punch him as soon as we go to break. All right.
That's all right.
It's fun.
You guys are killing me.
Absolutely fun. You know what? The good part about this, I did not bring up the inflatable Jeff Reents yet.
No, yeah, right. Holy cow.
No,
we're putting that the same. Yeah, we're getting away from all that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the giant back up soon for you, so that'll be good.
I know. And then after that, then we'll have the giant Jeff Reents ready to go.
Here we go.
It'll be fun.
He's not going to rest till that happens. Nope. I'm telling you that right now.
Nope. It's called determination, gentlemen. Jeff, we appreciate you, buddy.
Yes.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Yes.
Oh no, it's awesome. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do and having me on your program, or me being able to talk about our program. We're excited about tomorrow, but love being on with you guys. So it's a lot.
You got it, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Good luck, buddy.
All right, Jeff Reents joins us from Wilmington. I think I heard him blushing over the radio. What do you think? You think I hit a home run on that one?
I think you did.
Lino Winslow is a very good suggestion, by the way. That's a
good.
Great suggestion for an opponent.
Yes,
so
I agree.
interesting that they've talked.
Yes.
They've talked. Maybe we see a little something down the road.
Maybe.
You just never know. Wow. That would be very, very interesting. So, again, Jeff is such a good guy and just puts up with us, Just
like I always say about Jeff in Wilmington, you can look at him on film. You can say, well, this doesn't seem too. I think
go ahead and go play him
until you get in the trenches on game night or game day on a Saturday during the playoffs, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, we appreciate Jeff Reents joining us. We're going to step aside and take another break. When we come back, out to the phone lines, the head coach of the Lincoln Way West Warriors, Luke Lokank, will join us. We'll break down the Warriors season so far, and who knows, we'll try to get Luke to blush over the radio as well. You just never know. You're listening to the Week 4 edition, the Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With autopay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, and powerful anti-aging supplements. Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SAVE or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off. SAVE to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
September is National Recovery Month, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is raising awareness of substance use resources for veterans.
I'm Dr. Joseph Liberto, National Mental Health Director, Substance Use Disorders at VA. We want veterans to know that any time is the right time to start recovery. From outpatient care and residential rehabilitation to evidence-based treatments and harm reduction services, veterans can receive world-class support at VA.
Visit www.va.gov/recovery.
Miller Lite presents your Chicago football game day headquarters, Corrigan's Pub in Shorewood. This Sunday, catch Chicago as they travel to Indianapolis at Corrigan's Pub and catch the game on 41 flat screen TVs throughout the bar. Along $10 food specials including choice of 8 wings, 6 jumbo chicken strips, or a chicken sandwich, plus $4 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts and $2.75 Miller Lite and Coors Light bottles. Corrigan's Pub, 700 West Jefferson Street, Shorewood. Celebrate responsibly.
Got a problem with your car? Call in this Thursday just after 9 a.m. and get answers from the experts. Every Thursday, the experts from the service department at Darcy Buick GMC will honestly answer your questions about any vehicle, any make, any model. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday after the 9 a.m. news, brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Listen right here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodagero. Welcome to Pigskin Preview. Glad to have you here. And we are trying to get connected here with Luke Lokank from Lincoln Way West. So we will hopefully do that in a moment. And, Coach, if you're out there, we're trying to get a hold of you. You can always call the station, 815-254-7300. We hope to connect very shortly, Joe, with Luke Lokank. Good start for the Warriors.
Yes, they are 3-0 and really playing well. It's going to be a big test, I think, tomorrow night against Sandburg, and because they had a big win against Home from Foster.
Yeah, that was kind of eye-opening.
It sure
was.
was.
It was a 20, 30-point win by Sandburg in that game. So
but Sandburg seems to do that
they
every
do
so often.
Yeah,
They'll have that perfect game.
From a couple of years ago, they stepped up and bit Lincoln Way East, and no one saw that one coming either.
Yes,
So
indeed.
yeah, they're very capable. I mean, look, Troy McAllister, very, very good coach.
Yes.
Did a hell of a job at Phillips, and then came over to the Sandburg, and it seems like, Joe, they're getting closer. It seems like every year they're getting a little bit better over there. So
Right.
we'll see. And joining us on the phones, we'll go out to the phone lines, and joining us is the head coach of the Lincoln Way West Warriors, Luke Lokank. And Coach, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Edgy. Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. We were just talking a little bit about your opponent tomorrow night. And, it's interesting. The big win last week for them over HF. And, I had a chance to see HF the week before in person. And that's a pretty good team they beat. And it seems like Sandburg, the last couple of years, it seemed to be inching closer and closer, kind of getting back to maybe where they were, 15, 20 years ago. They look like they're starting to build into a pretty good program.
a team like that. Big, physical, very efficient on offense. Can do a lot of different things to you in the run game and pass game. Shelton's a 3-year starter at quarterback, and so he has a lot of games under his belt. Defensively, very sound, fundamentally, and fly around to the ball. So it's going to be one heck of a game all night.
Luke, offensively, you guys have been doing pretty well so far, probably averaging 40 points a game. And, read the articles a little bit. Chase Heschliff is having a great year so far. And in the running, the running back, Jahan Abukar, is really a kind of runner. Abukar. Yeah. But total defensively, you guys have been doing a great job so far against the first 3 opponents.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Sorry, Coach.
I was just going to say, it all stems probably from the front 7, front 8. Who are some of the guys that have really stepped up this year for you?
Yeah, we do have a lot of experience coming back in that group, and obviously, Josh is our 3-year starter, but Johnny Ramos playing Mike is a 2-year starter there. One of our outside linebackers, defensive end, Nate Elsner, is a 2-year starter, 2-time captain there. Our one of our corners, Ryan Stiglick, is a 2-year starter. Then Chris Yerser, Olin King, our defensive linemen, are 2-year starters. So there's a lot of experience in that group. followed up by a lot of juniors are really stepping in too, into their first year starting role. Like Noah Wentz is playing an outside linebacker for us. Brady Nelson is playing defensive end. Luke Gowdy's playing safety, and Quinn Forsythe and Chase Markowitz are another corner. So it's a group that has a lot of experience, a lot of years, a lot of games underneath them, but with, I would say, really talented first-year varsity players. On some other years that we've had at Lincoln West, they might be 2-year starters or even 3-year starters. So very, very happy with how they're playing. It's a very fast group. We try to play as fundamentally sound as we can and fly around. And this group is answering the bell every week.
Everyone, obviously a lot of people want to talk about Josh Veldman, and, obviously so is the player he is. Talk about him as a leader. Luke, how is he? Has he changed? Has his leadership changed a little bit this year? Maybe more vocal this year? How has he been kind of leading the team?
Josh is one of those players, and you have him on every team. You have him on every team that, number one, is going to lead by example, lead by his habits, lead by the way he perceives himself in the hallways, the way he perceives himself on practice. When you get, special kids like that, which we have a lot of them on our team, they're just different. They work at a different gear. And any coach will tell you that the best teams you've ever been around, and Coach Rod can agree, is your best players are your best leaders. Yep. And when you have teams that your best players aren't your best leaders, it's usually not the best year. And Josh is one of those amongst so many more on our roster. Vocally, he's a very humble and soft-spoken kid, but he's one of those leaders. When he says something, people don't listen. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of leadership style that he takes on. I'm going to work my butt off, do whatever I can for my teammates to win. If I have to say something, I'll say something. Type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you really could ask for more than that, honestly. And obviously, it's working off to a great start. Bullet points going into tomorrow. What are a couple of things you're going to touch on before you take the field?
You know what? We know that they're going to play fundamentally sound, and we're going to try to do our best to play fundamentally sound, and control the ball. And they have probably the same game plan in mind. And I think this game's going to really come down to the special teams. Whoever's +1 in the special teams, it might determine the game. Just because we're very similar as a team. I see the same type of things on film that I see in ours, and you can tell both of them really respect special teams. And I think it's going to come down to that unit.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Luke. Always appreciate having you on and taking time out of your night to join us. And again, just best of luck tomorrow night, and go get them.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Luke Lokink joining us, and again, that'll be a good game, Joe.
As you talked about with that conference, this is going to be a close game. This is definitely going to be a close game, as Luke said. Specialties, it could come down to that. So
254-7300, 815-254-7300, or also DM us. I want to thank Alex Avedo. Yeah, I think it's Alex Avedo. We had a little bit of an audio issue. Yeah. Gave us a heads up. We always appreciate that. I always want to know if something's not working right. By all means, want to hear that for sure. We got a few minutes here, guys. Let's go through the area schedule a little bit. Game of the week we talked about. We're gonna have Chris Fitzgerald on from Mike Fitzgerald from Marist on at 7:45. We'll get into that a little bit more. Notre Dame and Providence, Joe. It's all must win from here on out for the Celtics. I'm sorry. I looked at that schedule. There is nothing easy the rest of the year.
No, this is they're in playoff mode right now. And again, we've all heard about the tragedy that happened to one of the former players.
Yeah. I'm glad. You know what? I meant to mention that at the beginning of the show, and I totally forgot those two young men that passed away.
One from Lincoln Way West, and of course, Mason Santiago from Providence, who to me was a tremendous football player.
Yep.
With that said, Notre Dame is a very good, but I'm picking Providence because of the emotional aspect of what happened, last weekend and just getting ready for this game.
Well, we've seen that already. We saw it a little bit last year when Providence got pushed up against wall a little bit. They responded, and they're going to need to respond tomorrow night. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Reed Custer, Joe, searching for that first win, hosting Herscher.
Couple close games by them, and Herscher, I believe, is 1-2 I know Reed Custer's 0-3, but I'm gonna go Reed Custer.
Coal City at Lyle. I'm sorry, Coal City hosting Lyle.
That's all the way Coal City.
Yep. The Tone at Wilmington, Joe. Big ball game.
How can I go against Jeff Reents? I love Coach
it's
Coley,
tough,
but
especially at home.
Yes, I'm going to go with Wilmington.
Morris on the road at LaSalle, Peru.
The Morris Football Club.
Lamont, talk about getting a big win last week. That was a big win for Willie and Lamont.
Yes.
So they get on the board. They're 1-2 at the other fractional.
I'm picking Willie and Lamont.
I am all about Willie and Lamont.
Yes.
All about it. Finally, Lincoln Way East will get a test and a challenge on the north side of, not fractional, but the north side of Naperville tomorrow night, taking on the Huskies.
You know, until Lincoln Way East gets beat, we saw them the first week playing against a Maine South team that's 0-3 now. That's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Lincoln Way East here. I really am.
Lincoln Way Central at DeKalb. DeKalb is 0-3, I believe.
Yes.
And they are a pretty good team to be 0-3. So I'd be a little careful going into DeKalb if I'm Lincoln Way Central.
I'm picking Lincoln Way Central here, being away, but they have to start fast. They can't let things happen to the second half.
Sandburg, we just talked about this one. Sandburg at Lincoln Way West.
I'm picking Lincoln Way West here.
That's a tough one.
It's going to be close, but I'm picking Lincoln Way West here.
Joliet Central on the road at Oswego. Yeah, not a good time to play Oswego.
Just stay healthy.
Is this a must win for Joliet West?
It is.
Yeah, I would think so. At Plainfield North.
This is a game that Plainfield North.
Because honestly, Joe, this might be the toughest remaining game on the schedule, honestly, for the Tigers.
I was just going to say,
I looked at it earlier.
Yeah,
today.
this is going to be a tough game in the way Plainfield North responded last week. I'm taking Plainfield North here.
Our friend George over at Lockport, there on the road at Death Valley, Wabansie Valley.
I'm picking the Porters here.
Yeah, I do too. I'm with you. It's Plainfield Central at Yorkville.
Got an angry Yorkville team. Got their first win last week. I'm picking Yorkville here.
Plainfield East at Bolingbrook. It looked like Bolingbrook woke up a little bit last week.
Yep, both 0-3 against 1-2. I'm picking the Brook here also.
Plainfield South at Oswego East.
This is another.
We'll see if it's a bounce back win here for Plainfield South.
I'm
real
interested. Yeah, this is going to be a.
Romeoville, unfortunately, a little bit dinged up, and they have to go on the road at the Nook.
Yeah, I'm picking the Indian there.
Yeah. All right. We're going to step aside and take a break for ABC News at 7:00, but don't go anywhere. I'm telling you, Joe just gets warmed up now. So, I mean, Joe's ready to get going. We'll have open phones when we come back. So if you want to call us, it's a great time to call us about 7:05. Then we'll go Anthony Pignatello from Thornton Fractional North and Mike Fitzgerald from Marist, plus your calls. This has been and is week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview, easy for you to say, here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports. We'll be back.
Your home for Will County's news, talk, and sports. We're 1340 WJOL. Will County's News, Talk, Sports. 1340
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. A sheriff from rural Kentucky is in custody. Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins is charged in the fatal shooting of Judge Kevin Mullins. State Trooper Matt Gayhart speaking to WHJL.
There are several witnesses, which adds to the complexity of the investigation, which means, detectives will have to interview each and every witness that was present.
Steins allegedly shot Mullins in his chambers today. Israel and Hezbollah exchanged strikes in Lebanon after a deadly coordinated attack this week on members of the terror group when their pagers exploded.
What we do know is that Israel actually had a hand in the manufacturing of these pagers in an operation that an intelligence source tells us was in the works for at least 15 years. And this intelligence source also tells us that this is the kind of tactic that the CIA has been reluctant to use because of the kind of risk that it poses to innocent civilians.
ABC's Selena Wang. The head of the U.S. Postal Service responds to a claim former President Trump has made about mail-in ballots.
There's been this kind of mixed messaging from both the Trump campaign and the RNC about mail-in voting, because Donald Trump made comments that the Postmaster General now says are inaccurate about mail-in ballots being some kind of weight on the postal system. But also the Trump campaign and the RNC have been piloting initiatives to encourage their voters to cast mail-in ballots.
ABC's Jay O'Brien. The White House chair of the Council of Economic Advisors says the Fed's rate cut this week is a signal inflation is returning to normal.
Countries where that independence have been compromised, economies where that independence have been compromised, have been brought to their knees by inflationary pressures time and time again.
But Jared Bernstein adds there is a lot more work to do. The LA Dodgers' Shohei Ohtani makes Major League history, becoming the first player to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a season. You're listening to ABC News.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham confirms he was in Nebraska this week to discuss electoral college rules with officials. Nebraska can't split up its delegates, but the Trump campaign wants a winner-take-all rule.
This was created in, I think, 92 to help Clinton. Trump's going to win the state by 20 points.
Amending Nebraska's electoral college process would require a special legislative session, several hearings, and a debate before a vote could take place. Existing home sales dropped 2.5% in August compared to July. That's according to the National Association of Realtors, who says sales are also down over 4% compared to August of 2023. The group expects sales to increase now that the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates. A rapid decline in overdose deaths.
The number of Americans dying from drug overdoses continues to drop, health officials say, to the lowest level in 3 years. Latest figures from the CDC as of April 2024 show the estimated number of deaths in the past 12 months fell to just over 101,000, down from all of 2023 when the CDC showed more than 107,000 drug overdoses. Federal health officials say even with the decline, the number of overdose deaths is still higher than it was pre-pandemic. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Apple's released early the software update that will enable AI on Siri and offer new editing tools. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, high school football fans, we're happy to announce this week's Malloy State Farm Pigskin Preview Player of the Week. We would like to congratulate Lockport's senior running back Tyler Posticel, who had 20 carries for 111 yards and 4 touchdowns in Lockport's 40-19 win over Neuqua Valley. Tyler and his parents will join us along with his coach George Chart on December 8th at the awards ceremony at Gatto's and New Lenox, sponsored by Frank Gatto, a great partner to this program. Congratulations, Tyler.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
to annual girls trip moments.
Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
What? My trade's got to be worth more than this.
Hey, Chicagoland, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Willowbrook Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for thousands less. Fast, fun, and easy. Stuck in your loan or lease, Willowbrook Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0.9% APR for 66 months and up to $4,000 on new 2024 F-150 trucks and $2,000 in bonus cash on new 2024 Explorer, Edge, Escape SUVs. Plus, Willowbrook Ford will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get pre-approved today at willowbrookford.net. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience at Willowbrook Ford. Conveniently located on Route 83, half-mile north of I-55, 4 miles south of I-88, or online at willowbrookford.net. $1,554 per month for $1,000 finance on select models. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Sale ends 9/30/24.
So you're getting some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered. Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They are a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. These add great value and beauty to your home. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reduchene.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
Yep, that's us. Welcome back. It is the Week 4 edition. Oh, man, Week 4 of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Edgy Tim, along with the coach, Joe Rodegaro, Ivan Bredesen, spinning the dials and keeping us online and on time and everything else. So we appreciate his efforts every week. This edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents John Wright and Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Just heard from Mr. Malloy a little while ago listening to the show. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Oh, he sure is all over the place, isn't he? Again, the broadcast schedule is as follows: 6:05 Friday Night Lights with the hot new name in town, Mr. Tony hosting. So
yes,
you definitely check out the pregame show to get breaking down all the games in the area. And then 7:30 kickoff, Joliet Memorial Stadium. It will be Joliet Catholic hosting Marist. So a big game in the Chicago Catholic League, East Suburban Catholic. And another big weekend, Joe.
Yeah, they're all big.
Yeah, they really are. And we were talking about some of the area teams, and it's already kind of getting crunch time, believe it or not. We're going to be talking about that more and more in the next few weeks. But there's definitely some must-win scenarios out there. Again, 7 o'clock hour, phone lines are open. So if you want to hop in and talk or whatever, we're here for it. I don't care. You want to talk about Ohtani hitting 3 homers today? That's cool. You want to talk about what Bob's going to make this weekend for tailgate tomorrow night? That's cool. Love to hear that too. 815-254-7300. Guys, as far as the season as a whole, first of all, I think weather's kind of been an issue as far as it's been pretty warm.
It has been.
And, it looks like next week maybe we get a bit of a reprieve and a little more fall-like, but I hadn't, it seems like the further out we go, I see less and less of the cramping.
Yeah, we didn't have any last week that I can think of.
So, for the most part, used to it, but you definitely would want to kind of see the weather kind of cooperate just a little bit. So we'll go out to the phone lines. Alex joining us on the request lines. Alex, good evening.
Oh, the legend, EDGYTIM himself.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, that's me. Welcome aboard.
It's Alex Acevedo.
Oh man,
Coach Joe had it.
Yeah. There you go.
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm great, man. I just down here in the Kankakee County area.
There you go.
Always cheering for the Boilermakers of Bradley Bourbonnais and the Kankakee K's. It used to be a rival game, but I always cheer for both teams. I'm happy both programs are doing well. I just want to know your thoughts. Kankakee versus Normal.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you called in and brought that up because I saw that earlier when we had calls, we couldn't get to it. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I mean, I was pretty high on Normal last year. I mean, I saw Kyle Beatty, their senior quarterback, obviously a junior last year. Really good player, kind of underrated a little bit, honestly. He's put up some really big numbers in the last few years. And then Marquand Gary's his main receiver. I know Marquand's committed to Illinois State. You know, speed kid, you know, can obviously stretch the field a little bit. And so, I mean, you look at their scores, they're already putting up tons of points this year. But, you know, Kankakee's a whole different beast. You're going to get guys that are going to be able to run and defend Marquand Gary. I don't think he's going to get in the open field like he would against some of those earlier opponents. So, you know, I think Kankakee's got a good shot because I think Normal's just a team that's going to come in and think they can just unleash. And if they can, hey, best of luck. But Kankakee defensively has been pretty good against everybody this year so far.
Yeah, you brought up physical corners. I mean, Coach Jose, I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Sam Jordan, the defensive coordinator.
Sure.
Local guy, I've known him basically my whole life. And he gets that defense playing. And them guys will get up and they'll cover you and they'll hit you. So I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going to be at that one. I can't wait to
the player I really like, and I've been a fan of his for a couple of years now. On the defense, the linebacker, is it Kennard
Chandler?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, really good linebacker.
His brother was the other. Yeah, his brother's
and his brother was incredibly underrated and under recruited, in my opinion. I told every coach I deal with how much I like the brother and I like Kennard, the younger one. And I know Kennard's already committed to Eastern Illinois, I believe. And if he winds up at Eastern, he's going to wind up being a really good player for them for quite a while. Because, you know, again, good sized kids, got really good speed and just that mean toughness instinct in him that I think that's what makes him a great defensive player.
Yeah, I can't wait for the matchup. And, Boilers are taking on Rock Island, which I tell you what, I looked at Rock Island's schedule. They're 0-3, but I mean, they played some tough teams.
It's changed though, Alex. It's a different Rock Island. Yeah, it's a different Rock Island team now, unfortunately. I'll put it to you this way, and I know the people in the Western Big Six are going to love when I say this, believe me. I went out the last couple of years. I've been focused on the Western Big Six. I hadn't been out there for a while, so had a chance, got to see a couple of games live out there. Alex, it's like night and day comparing football from what I saw out there compared to like our area here. Night and day. And Rock Island is just down. I don't know why. They've got great facilities. They get great support. I don't know. It's just maybe a talent drought. I don't know. Moline solid. I like Coach Morrissey a lot. Quincy's going to be good again this year because they've got Little back at quarterback, and he had a big year. And, you know, what scares me, and Joe, I think I talked to you about this, and Alex, I said this before too. You know, I really liked Quincy, and I talked about Quincy, and then I saw the tape of that first half against Mount Carmel, and my jaw dropped like, oh my Lord. I mean, look, Mount Carmel was really, really good last year. But Quincy had never seen anything like that, and it was just terribly evident after that game. So, again, I might be downplaying the Western Big Six a little bit, but, Alex, you know how it is. I go with what I see. So,
right, exactly. It's all you can do.
Yep. Well, hey, great for calling, man. We appreciate hearing you.
Hey, I love your guys' show. I do. I love listening to you guys every Thursday. You guys do a great job.
Yeah.
Right,
always chime in. You're always welcome, buddy.
Yes.
All right, we appreciate Alex calling, and so I made some new enemies out in the Western Big Six, right? But we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out in the playoffs.
Yes.
Go ahead, Joe. You're going to say
like
something.
you were saying. I think also too with that Quincy thing, they were talking a little smack too.
Oh,
I think,
God,
and
yes.
you don't do that against the Mount Carmel team. You just don't. You don't
No.
do that.
And they beat you on your home turf.
Yeah.
You made Mount Carmel go 4 hours one way to beat the bejesus out of you.
That's right.
So
Yes.
not good.
Not good
good.
at all.
And I mean, come on, you've coached. How do you what if you get in the playoffs and you see the bracket and you see you're running into Mount Carmel in the quarterfinal?
Okay.
How do you handle it?
You got it.
It's a mental block. Yeah. How are you going to get around that?
It is, but you try to, as you said, mentally.
Joe, they could have beat them 100-0 if they really wanted to.
Yeah,
That's how that game was going.
I know.
I don't know.
But games like that, previously when you played, that's why you try to play the best teams, even in the
Right.
first 2 games, to get something like that.
Which I've said, look, it's advantage Quincy a little bit because they've already faced the beast. You know what you're running into.
Yes.
So at least, you've got somewhat of an idea what you're going to run into. You knew last year they had no idea what they were going to run into.
No.
To me, that's one of those games where, as a coaching staff, you go to your players and when they're like, "Oh, week 1 was rough," you're like, "What happened week 1? We didn't play.
Yeah.
I don't remember a game week
Yeah.
1. Did we play Mount Carmel before?
Yeah.
I don't have a memory of that.
Yeah,
It's
come on
completely-
now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You got to try
Oh,
something.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What are you going to say? Well, we know what happened last time, so let's only lose 70-0 this time.
Yeah. I know. Well, we hope we can score this time. Yeah.
Well, again, you say too, well, this is our opportunity to show them how much we well, they didn't, but again, you try just any type of psychological warfare you can.
Yeah.
I used to always
Well, and
say
you hope to God you play them at your place again. You don't have to go to
and
Chicago.
again, when I got beat by teams early in the year, I'd always say,
Wait, you lost?
yeah, I did lose some.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get a chance to play them again in the playoffs.
I told Dave Earthsay, he sent me something in there and he said, Dave, sorry this was wrong. I go, I was wrong once. Just once. Oh, well. 815-254-7300. Also want to wish the Fighting Saints off to a 2-0 start.
Yes.
They're on the road at Concordia University in Michigan. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, so hopefully Joe Curry and the boys can keep things rolling along. Looks like Joe, the usual suspect, St. Franny or St. Xavier, already winning quite a bit. Guys, what is going on? What in the wide world of sports is going on with some of the Catholic League teams this year? How was Loyola 1-2?
That was a shocker to me last Friday.
Stunned. We were stunned in the booth when Dewey gave us the score. I actually asked him off air at one point. I'm like,
I gave him the score.
That's what he told me because I
Yeah.
thought maybe he read it off Twitter. I was like,
I know.
did you double check that? Because I'm like,
Yes.
he's like, no. He's like, Edge told me. I was
Yep.
stunned. And then you heard afterwards, well,
Fitzgerald didn't play. Fitzgerald might not play for a few more weeks. So
Okay, so Fitzgerald didn't play.
I know.
They have 100 kids
I
on
know.
the sideline. They talk about their depth.
I
ad
know.
nauseum over there.
I know of a freshman quarterback there that's playing at the sophomore level that's already getting serious Division I recruiting interest, and he's that good. But it sounds like they're not going to move him up the varsity yet, and that's their priority. That's their prerogative to do that.
Yes.
But yeah, so and then Brother Rice. We heard about Brother Rice had all this coming back, and they're 1-2, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And you
It's
can
fun though, but it's crazy.
Well, what it does, the problem I think it creates, or not the problem with what we could see interestingly at the end of the year is due to them struggling in non-conference, which we're not used to seeing. When we get into those games later in the year, and you got Providence and Brother Rice and Loyola, you could have games where it's the playoffs are on the line in week 7. The playoffs are on the line.
without a doubt.
I'm telling you,
because we both struggled in the non-conference. We got to get our 5 wins somewhere. There are going to be games on the schedule later in the year that are going to be absolute slugfests.
You mark my words, week 9, Providence, Joliet Catholic,
huge.
there is going to be something major online in that game. Major.
And I know,
Someone's going to fight for their playoff life in that game. I hope not. I hope they're both fine going into it. But I'm telling you, I just got that feeling something major is going to be on the line. for that one.
and we've talked about, and we'll have probably Susie on in a couple of weeks. Susie,
Bring him in next week. It's
4
cool.
and 5, 4 and 5. But they'll get in with the points. You may not get in with the points because the points may be too high with some. I mean, they can only put so many in a bracket.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
so you could have, let's say, 42, 45
Oh, God.
points.
How would you like to be? Oh, God. What team should I use an example? Manuka. Let's say the Indian goes 8-1, 9-0. Very possible.
Yeah.
Hey, look who we draw in the first round. 6-3 Loyola Academy.
You know, Loyola's
same thing
going somewhere on the road in week 1.
Well,
of the
Loyola's already
playoffs.
played at Manuka a while back, so they're familiar with the trip.
And it happened last year with Joliet West.
Right. Yep.
St. Ignatius came off a huge
Yep.
win against Joliet
Yeah, but
Catholic the
Joe,
week before.
Joe, no offense to St. Iggy, but it's St. Ignatius. It's not
Well,
Loyola.
I'll agree with that.
Right. I mean, but I look at it this way. Can't be any worse than drawing like Lincoln Way East in the first
No,
round.
That's right.
It's got to be better than at least someone different than that. So, but that's what you're looking at if
I
this
know.
thing plays out that way.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Step aside, take a break. When we come back, all right, I'll say it. I think the greatest high school coach in history is going to be on the line with us. We'll go out, talk to the head coach of the Thornton Fractional North Meteors, Anthony Pignatello, our good friend. We'll check in.
Yes.
We'll have a Meteor update and see
Yep.
how things are going on the north side of Fractional. And Joe, never cross that line. You are listening to the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's news, talk, and meteors.
Hey, high school football fans. We are happy to announce this week's Malloy State Farm and Pigskin Preview Player of the Week. We would like to congratulate inside linebacker Josh Feldman, who had 12 tackles for a combined minus 15 yards and a blocked PAT in Lincoln Way West 41-19 victory over Andrew. Josh and his parents will join us along with Coach Chalmers on December 8th at the award ceremony at Gatto's in New Lenox, sponsored by Frank Gatto, a great partner to this program. Congratulations, Chase.
Every other Thursday at 9:30 a.m. is Law Day on WJOL, brought to you by Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel, where you will hear legal information every family should know regarding estate planning, wills, trusts, and the ins and outs of legal issues in family courts. You'll hear what to do and what not to do, and tips to help you navigate the court system, all with the attorneys from Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel. This Thursday, 9:30, right here on WJOL 1340, Will County's News, Talk, and Sports.
Y'all want to hear about the AARP auto insurance program from the Hartford? Well, if you're age 50 or over, you can save hundreds when you switch. Are you ready for some exclusive discounts too? Phone's in the air now. We're going to sign you up, baby. Go to visithartfordauto.com today for your free quote.
When you're with the Hartford, the Bucks got your back. Provided by Hartford Fire Insurance Company, not AARP or its affiliates. Individual savings vary. The Hartford pays a royalty fee to AARP, which is used for its general purposes. For information and restrictions, go to thehartford.com.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Facing a pediatric serious illness takes over the entire family's life. And that's where Lightway's hospice and serious illness care makes all the difference. Lightway's works closely with your pediatric primary doctor or a hospice doctor, usually with in-home care and benefits that include symptom management with medication and equipment. But Lightway's pediatric care goes much further for the entire family to include respite care and access to child life therapy, social work, music therapy, chaplains, and so much more. Lightways is the only nonprofit hospice provider in Northern Illinois to provide these services. Give your family the pediatric support you need, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Call Lightways today at 815-740-4104 or go online to lightways.org. That's lightways.org. Lightways Hospice and Serious Illness Care. Through darkness, we bring light.
And welcome back to the Anthony Pignatello Show here on 1340 WJOL. Doesn't exactly make sense, but it doesn't matter.
We don't make sense.
No, I mean, if you're still listening to us, God bless you. I don't know if I would, Joe, but I'm being paid to be here. All right, joining us right now on the phone. I said it before the break. Maybe the greatest coach in IHSA football right now. Head coach of the TF North, the 3-0 TF North Meteors, Mr. Anthony Pignatello. Hello, sir.
Edgy, Coach. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be back, and I love that song. I did everything I could to make it my wedding song, but my wife.
Awesome. Well,
gosh,
it's always good when you get a win over the other fractional, my friend. So congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It was a special night for our kids and our school community, and obviously the beautiful town of Calumet City, our hometown, Edge.
Yeah, no doubt. Was it 37 years? The first time in 37 years that North has beaten South back-to-back years?
That is correct.
That is amazing.
It was quite some time, and our boys knew it. It kind of started a little bit back in the summer. My daughter, my boys are really into this whole North football thing, and my son, Junior, 7, was out looking at the trophy in the hallway during our summer camp, and he mentioned something to me as we were going out to the field that TF South had a lot more wins in that rivalry than we did. And I told him to make sure he told our boys that during the summer camp, and kind of grew from there, perked our guys and motivated them back in June. And then our senior quarterback, Jameer Jolly, sent me a picture with those years where we went back to back in 86, 87, and kind of made it a point to bring that to the attention of the guys, and we did.
How awesome is it to see a young kid in this era go back and look at some of that history? I mean, how you don't see that too often anymore.
No, and I think that's one of the cool things about being able to teach and coach at your old high school, like I'm able to do, and have a bunch of family, my mom, and I mentioned it last year, my aunts, my uncles, so many people that have come before me through TF North, and then to kind of know that history firsthand, and then forward into the boys that are wearing the jersey now. And I think they buy into that, and they respect it, and they appreciate it. So it's very cool to see them, buy into that and want to represent it well and be a special part of it.
And again, so this is Anthony's second year. He's got a 10-3 record so far at North. Yes. So if you keep that winning percentage going for about another 25, 30 years, you might have something going on there, Coach.
We just want to get through September 20th, 2024. That's the biggest thing on our calendar right now. Not too far ahead. We got a great Evergreen Park coming into town. Coach Ramazinski does a great job, and kind of cool little history between the two of us. It will be another opportunity for us to share a football field and coaching against one another. I know that Coach is running the defense over to Andrew for a couple of those games that I was on the other sideline with Lincoln Way East in the recent past. So it's kind of cool to see him doing his thing and doing a great job of it. And he's got a great ball club coming into Cal City tomorrow night.
So let's talk about some of these players. And again, I love the work that you got, that I'm sure it's probably you or maybe someone in the family does on the social media side. Again, I know you every week you put players of the week, and this week's player of the week's Joseph Carlos on offense, Kevin Derrick on defense, Max Montesinos, special teams.
Yes.
And then your team, your scout team. So talk about a little bit about all three, and then obviously the scout team as well.
Absolutely. So let me first start by giving a huge shout out to Coach Cam Stevens. He's a TF North alum as well, and that is our social media guy. He is unbelievable.
Yep.
Please spread the word on him if coaches are looking for anybody to help with that, just to give insight and whatnot. Coach Cam is the best. So definitely want to shout him out, because what he's doing for our program and our brand is absolutely incredible. And we are so appreciative of the work that he does, and absolutely proud of him, especially because he's a TF North guy as well. But with our players of the week, we do what a lot of other programs do, but this week a couple guys stood out to us on offense, and those are two of our top guys, two of our captains. One's our flag carrier, the other one's our hammer. If you know anything about our pregame and what that means, and again, that's a little sprinkle from Lincoln Way East as well, that our kids really appreciated.
Yep.
So Carlos is our do-everything lineman. He plays all 5 spots on the line. It changes from week to week, just based on schemes and what we're looking at from our opponents, because he's so versatile up there. And then he plays a heck of a D tackle for us this year, and was playing defensive end last year, but played 100+ snaps in that game. And obviously we had some success on the ground with Joseph, but you can't get that done without a great line. So we wanted to make sure we, included Carlos in that Offensive Player of the Week, and then Joseph with the carries he had. I think he was upwards of 150+ yards, 2 touchdowns, tough touchdowns. Moved the chains for us when we needed him to. Stepped in and made some punts for us too, which is kind of crazy to think about. Running back tilting the rock 20+ times, then getting out there and booting the football around is pretty impressive. So really proud of those 2 seniors and what they poured into that game on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, Derek Sparkman's one of our no-name kids. He played a little bit for us last year as a sophomore, and now he's a junior, trying to grow into this role as our Mike backer, which if you know anything about Coach Rogers and our defensive staff, with Coach Soldies and Coach Newsome, that Mike backer has to do a lot of things. He's the quarterback of the defense, and Derek's done an unbelievable job. And we challenged him all week. South's running back is a stud, and we knew that if he got going, that could mean a long night for the Meteors. And I thought Derek did an unbelievable job of stepping up for us in that unit, leading that unit. And then Kevin Wilson got a nod as a co-defensive player of the week due to his efforts late in the fourth quarter. We had to make a substitution. He was ready. He stayed patient. He stayed ready. Got out there, had a couple pass breakups as they were trying to challenge us down the field. And they had a huge pick late in the fourth quarter that was really big for us and kind of stopped one of their drives late in the game. So we were really proud of him. And then Max Montesinos is a cool story. He's a soccer football kid, so he's a dual sport athlete in the same season. Had a huge game today, soccer-wise against Revis. So I'm going to be checking scores here shortly for our guy Max. But he had the field goal that gave us the two kind of score lead. That the coaching staff was very much in unison in that decision to kick it and take the points. Max drilled it from a short distance, probably would have been good from 40 yards out. So really happy and proud of him to step in a big game for us and knock that through. And then, coaches around the state will tell you when you're preparing for a big game, it's easy to focus on the guys that are going to be getting the ball and being leaned on the most heavily during the game on Friday night, but you don't get there without the guys that get them prepared for it. And we had an excellent scout week. Again, stealing some things that we've seen other programs do in regards to getting the old, jerseys out from 15 years ago that we still could put numbers on and identify players. And guys on both sides of the scout team, both offense and defense, really did an unbelievable job for us, preparing us for the looks that we thought we were going to get. And I thought that our offensive and defensive units did a really good job of taking that into the game in our preparation on Friday night.
Anthony, I watched some of the game on tape against TF South, and I don't know what guy Carlos is on the line, but 71, 75, and 70, I think. You got some pretty big guys on that offensive line.
Yeah, there must be something in the water in Cal City now that wasn't there in the mid '90s. That I never got to be a part of. So it's really cool to see these big guys coming out for football. And so I'm going through that numbers list. So ironically, 70 is Carlos, but then 71, who's actually a little bit bigger, is his little brother Osvaldo.
Nice.
So really, really excited about the brothers Roa and what they bring to the table. Unbelievable tandem, just tough kids, great family, super supportive of our program and great leaders for our program. And we got Ozzy for this season and 2 more. He's only a sophomore. So we're really excited about him, his development. And obviously having his older brother out there teaching him the ropes is pretty cool. And then, but then you look inside and our guards, as you guys remember from Damari last year, I know he was everybody's favorite coach. I think you pointed him out last year.
Yep.
Once you locate him on film. But we're definitely not afraid to throw some guards out there that might be a little undersized. And that's guys like Montreal Monroe and Nigel Greenwood and Jalen Edwards. Just guys that do a great job of being gritty in there amongst the trees, which are some of their teammates. And 75 is Nori Evans, who's an unbelievable right tackle, left tackle for us right now. Came out to us early in the summertime, and we're really, really fortunate to have him out there too. Really hard-nosed, tough kid, and he's doing pretty well in his economics class as well.
Very, very got to have that, right, Anthony? And I also noticed too, that your wide receivers did a great job last week of blocking downfield for your runners. And again, a lot of teams practice that a little bit, but I thought your guys did a very good job last week of blocking downfield for your running backs or a guy catching a ball and blocking downfield for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we tell our guys, our receiver unit, coached up by Coach Mike Anaclerio, who's also our special teams coordinator, and Matt Cervantes, who's our head JV coach. Those guys, myself, we pretty much tell them early on in summer camp, if you are not going to block as a receiver, you're not going to play offense. We are spread style offense, but we do like to pound the rock quite a bit, and we'll be patient in our run game. But fortunately for us, we've had a couple backs the last 2 seasons who can pop them. And if you're standing there on film, not doing what you're supposed to, even if it's an inside zone run or a power run, and our guy breaks it, and then the corner or the safety makes a play that you should have been downfield blocking, we'll make sure we address it, and we'll find somebody to go out there next week and replace you. So I think our receiver coaches, as I said, do a great job. And back to our line, just one other thing too. Coach Will Johnson, who is one of my teammates, does an unbelievable job with some of the rotating pieces that we have up front. So just very well coached guys, both on the line and at receiver. And obviously, whether you're a left guard or an ex-receiver for us, you better block or you're not going to play.
Yeah, awesome. Last time we had you on last year, just before we wrapped up the interview, we talked about facilities. What is the latest with TF North and facilities?
Great question. So last year, the fact that I'm here now and made my comments regarding what we were hoping to get means that I wasn't fired. I didn't say any of the wrong things.
That's good.
Good.
I was PC for District 215 and excited to announce that we will be getting our turf in the fall of 2025.
Awesome.
So we're going to play a game next year on what I hope to be is a fast track for us. And I know our kids are pretty pumped too. I know our seniors are probably looking at it as a bittersweet thing, but I know several of them will be back to support us on the sidelines and getting a feel up close and personal with that new turf.
Yeah, and we've seen it here. Joe and I have seen it here for years. Yep. And let's face it, we saw Joliet Catholic playing at Joliet Memorial Stadium in a mud pit for years, Anthony. You're talking, probably more recent than I think people would realize that they finally upgraded and went to turf. But everyone benefits from it. I mean, band can get out there during the year. You've got soccer, you've got football, you've got, your baseball and softball teams can take infield on it. I mean, there's a lot of things if you manage it right. And then you talked about the youth programs as well. Then you host those youth programs and you play them at your home field. And there's so much benefit that comes from making those upgrades and those renovations. So yeah, well done, 215. Well done for sure.
Absolutely.
Is your dad still coaching?
The dad is out there, and actually, I'm glad you brought him up. So not only was Friday night special for the 37-year curse of going back-to-back being broken, but my dad on the bus ride home wanted to let the players know, he informed them that was a great 40th wedding anniversary gift for 2 Cal City Lovebirds.
Boy, congratulate
their
them.
40th on the Saturday after on the 14th, and to have them both there, celebrating a victory in Lansing and heading home to Cal City.
Wow.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Cal City folks, it was pretty cool.
Well, you'll have to tell him, of course, hello from the
absolutely, and
everybody. Yes,
that is fantastic. And Joe, it's a family story that continues, man. That's what's so great about it. Absolutely,
I love the Pignatellos, all of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Great people,
my friend. Keep up the unbelievable work. Keep it rolling. We'll definitely stay in touch. And you need anything from us, you know how to get a hold of us.
Yep, for sure, Anthony.
Appreciate you guys. Edgy Coach, have a great one, and always stay north.
Oh, always stay north. All right, Anthony Pignatello joins us, and always great to have him on. And I'm rooting for him and rooting for TF North. Damn right I am. So again, great to have him on, and thrilled that North is going to renovate and put that turf in because, they're overdue. There's no doubt about it.
I've talked.
Oh, you know what's gonna? Oh, maybe I'll text him or he can text me. Are they going to keep it east-west, or are they going to change it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few fields that go east-west for high school.
That's right.
So we'll find out. Anthony, if you know, text me. Let me know. All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, don't go anywhere. We're going to go out to the phone lines and joined by Mike Fitzgerald from Marist. We'll break down what the Red Hawks have coming to Joliet Memorial tomorrow night. You're listening to the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Did you go to the last HOA meeting? They said we need to have our dryer vents clean this year.
Yep, they said it should be done before the bad weather hits. So I called Roscoe's Heating and Cooling. They're coming next week.
Wow, you're on it.
Weirdly, this is one time I actually agree with the HOA. Dryer vent clogs are one of the leading causes of house fires. And last time we had them out, our dryer worked so much better when they were done. Since we have an issue with our AC. Had an issue with our furnace last year, we couldn't put off any longer.
Oh boy, that's not good.
But it works out because for the month of September, Roscoe's is giving $25 off a dryer vent cleaning or $50 off if you combine it with a precision tune-up maintenance. And the dryer vent cleaning is free if we purchase when we replace our heating system.
Sounds like a really great package. I'll call Roscoe's today.
Oh, and they even mentioned financing options, which will be really nice. Call or go online. ROUSCULPS.com. ROUSCULPS.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SAVE, or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code SAVE.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SAVE to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
There's nothing more important than family. That's why we at Farkas Funeral Home strive to put our families first. Our facility is designed to bring you the comforts of home as you celebrate the life of a loved one. We understand how important this time is for your family, so we only service one family at a time to give you all the privacy you and your family will need. Our facility is equipped with a large parking lot to accommodate all of your guests, a large kitchen, and a bright and open layout of the facility to give you all the comforts of home. Stop in and visit us on the corner of Jefferson and Essington in Joliet or at FarkasFuneralHome.com.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. This is the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, and we're wrapping up this edition, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are very happy and excited to bring in well, I guess, what do we call him, Joe? The old new coach of the Marist Redhawks. We'll go out to the phone lines and be joined by Mike Fitzgerald. Coach Fitz, thanks for joining us, and hey, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So the coaching transfer portal looks like it was good for you, huh?
Yeah, pretty wild how everything went down. You know, definitely wasn't expecting to leave or looking by any means, and you know, just kind of came out of nowhere. The guy who was the principal when I was there last time, he's the president, and you got Pat Dunn over there now. So, you know, they just asked if I'd be interested in, and you know, they kept pushing a little, and the more I looked into it, it was just a great opportunity for me and my family, and just felt like it was something I couldn't pass on.
No doubt about it. And I'm telling you right now, the biggest troublemaker of all out of that place, that Pat Dunn guy. I'm telling you. Nothing but trouble with that guy. I'm kidding. Pat's the greatest. I tell you what, if you're a York Duke fan or a Marist Red Hawk fan, you're having a pretty good year. So I think both sides Fitz are pretty happy these days.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Coach Gelsomino, he's an unbelievable coach. He was a big part of that, and that made it easier too, knowing that they were in good hands, and just the program was at a really good spot. So that made it easier for sure. But yeah, we're off to a good start. We got a great staff. We got great senior leadership, and the kids have really bought in and just working their tails off.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you is how much different was it? I mean, you're only gone a handful of years, but I know there were some changes and some additions. I know they built that separate indoor facility that's, what is it, like a mile or two away from the school? I'm not exactly sure where it's at, but I know that got done, and they did some other things as well while you were gone. So I'm sure there was a little bit different coming back.
Yeah, for sure. The facilities are unbelievable. That indoor facility is something special for sure. That's unique to a lot of programs. So that's going to be huge for us. And yeah, a lot of the staff, so, made the transition easier because I knew a lot of the guys, and that's kind of the hardest thing when you change programs is you're not just coaching the kids, you're coaching the coaches as well. Yep. And having those guys that had some familiarity with me and what I'm about, not just from an X and O standpoint, but just in terms of how I want to do the program and, how we treat kids, stuff like that. It made it a lot easier. And, we got Marty Quinn on board. So that was a huge addition for us. He's doing a great job with our defense.
Mike, 3-0 off, as Edgy said, off to a great start. And the kids believe and stuff. Was that game 2 against Brother Rice, that victory 34-27 over Rice, that maybe is going to propel you to even go bigger and better things? The big rivalry between you guys is tremendous also.
Yeah, obviously that's a big one for us, a huge rivalry, but we try to talk about, for our goals and what we want to do, every game has got to be important, and we try not to build it up any bigger than it was. But what really just struck me about that game was just how resilient the kids were. I mean, we gave them the ball inside the 20, 3 times, and the kids didn't blink. They kept their composure, they stayed calm, they stayed relaxed, and every time there was some adversity, they responded. And then we go down a touchdown at the end, and we have a nice 2-minute drive to score to take it to overtime, and then we win in overtime, and our defense gets a stop. So yeah, it's a huge win. But I just think in general, just seeing how they battle adversity and stuff, said a lot about the kids and the character that we got, and that's going to pay dividends for sure.
Well, and what's been it's been amazing to watch this year in particular. And you talked about playing Brother Rice and the tradition, but you don't have a week at all.
No,
I mean, Fitz, you've got 9 weeks of playoffs is what you have as a regular season. I mean, you start with a very good Morgan Park team, which I know that game was pretty close and kind of, I think, what everyone expected you'd get from Morgan Park. Then obviously the tight one with Brother Rice, and you get a good win last week over Montini. Then you go down, oh yeah, by the way, we're on the road this week at Joliet Catholic. That's always fun. And then, oh yeah, IC. Yeah, they're not bad. They're okay. And then, Providence. We get Providence at home. St. Ignatius. Yeah, no one talks about them. All they do is just upset people every time you play them. Oh yeah, Marmion. Yeah, Marmion. Okay, well, we got them here, so we don't have to go to Aurora. So that's a positive. And then, oh yeah, Niles Notre Dame, who, I don't know, seems to live to beat people in like week 9 when they don't expect it. Fitz, you don't have a week off.
Yeah, no doubt. This is a great conference and a great challenge. And I mean, you look at what Naz did last year. They get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
With 5 losses, but you're battle tested and you're ready to go, and you're playing the best of the best each week. Great coaches, great players, great teams.
All right, let's talk about your team a little bit here. You have a quarterback, new to Marist, but Jacob Ritter has been doing a fine job for you guys, not only as a passer but also a dual threat running the football. We know the family. We know about Mr. Ritter, but having that dual threat at quarterback has got to keep defenses, coaches, nightmares just thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the first word that comes to mind with him is just tough. I mean, he brings it when he runs. Sometimes it's like, hey, go out of bounds. He's trying to run at guys, and he wants that ball in his hands in those critical moments. And so yeah, he's been a great addition for us. And we have a great backup quarterback too, which allows me to be aggressive with them. And Luke the Temple. So, when you got that too, you don't have to be as worried at how many carries, stuff like that. But yeah, he's been great, learning the offense and really executing well.
You have an enormous team on both sides of the line again this year. It's unbelievable.
That's going to be my next question. Your offensive line is huge.
Already know about Rico Schreiber, who I mean, everybody in recruiting circles has known since his freshman year. Talk about his development, Fitz, and how he's kind of progressed over the last year or two.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have a lot of size. We actually, I don't know if you remember the name, Ball Jefferson, who played at Northern. He played at Marist when I was there. He was at practice yesterday, and he's like, geez, where did these guys come from? And this is a Division I football player who played in the Orange Bowl. So, yeah, definitely have some great size. And Rico, yeah, he is, he's special. I mean, you don't see guys that size that can move like that. He has an edge to him when he plays, and, he's football smart. So, yeah, he's definitely, not something you get all the time. Yeah. So, he knocks on my door, and I can't even see his head. The door's filled out. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then obviously in the defensive side of the ball, you've always got playmakers and hitters there. And Brad Fitzgibbon, I mean, just a big time player heading to Iowa. And the other kid that jumped out at me, from last year in particular, was Achilles Anderson, who is at Harvard. Did he commit to Harvard?
Yep.
But I tell you what, Fitz, I'm sure schools are going to continue to recruit him because, boy, he sure looks like he's got that potential to really develop into a big time, kind of rush end kid.
Yeah, no question. Brad, another big kid, and his athleticism for his size is pretty unique as well. And then Achilles is just so raw. I mean, second year playing football and his frame, and I mean, the kid just gets better and better. His ceiling is off the charts.
Coach, your offense, I'm going to continue with that a little bit. And just, by the way, thank you very much. I'm the one that bothered you for the information because I am doing the game tomorrow night on the radio, so I thank you for that. Looking at the team stats, it's very balanced offensively between the run and the pass. Is that kind of designed with play calling, or is it just how the game dictates?
I mean, a little of both. I mean, we always want to be balanced. I feel like in 8A football, you got to be able to do both and, keep teams off balance. And if somebody's going to try and take something away, you got to be able to do the other. So, it's a little bit of both. But, yeah, we definitely want to try and stay balanced. And I feel like we have really good skill players, John McAuliffe at running back, and then our receivers are really talented too. So just trying to get everybody involved and, make them defend the entire field and every person on there is important to us.
Yeah, and going with that, every one of the receivers has at least one touchdown catch. And that, to me, that shows balance in Mr. Ritter finding the open guy and going not just with one guy. I know there is somebody in there that catches more, but to me, when you have 5 guys catching a touchdown pass after 3 games, that's pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's hard to key on just on one of those guys.
Right.
Joliet Catholic, as far from your standpoint, what are the concerns? I mean, we talk about the offense, and it's obviously not an easy offense to prepare for. What are some of the concerns going into tomorrow night for you?
Yeah, they're big, they're physical, they got a veteran group, so I think us being able to match them physically on the line at the line of scrimmage is going to be important on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively, and they do a great job of doing what they do. And, as soon as they're pounding it, they play action for a big game. So you got to, read your keys, stay home on that stuff. And, I think just, again, offensively sustaining some drives and staying on the field that way is going to be important. But I think just the line of scrimmage with those guys, they're big, they're physical, and like you said, it's hard to simulate at practice too, just because that's what they do and they do it well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Well, again, that will be our game of the week tomorrow night, 7:30 kickoff, Joliet Memorial Stadium. Marist takes the trip. It's a lovely drive, Mike. Trust me, it's a wonderful, wonderful drive. Just stay on the bus. Just look straight ahead. Don't look
Put
around.
Your blinders on.
You'll have plenty of time. Make sure the phone is fully charged. Maybe do a little reading, kill some time that way. You'll eventually make your way out here, but you're well aware of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But again, that's a 7:30 kickoff tomorrow night. Marist taking on Joliet Catholic at Joliet Memorial Stadium. My friend, great to talk to you again. Couldn't be happier for your success. And again, just best of luck tomorrow night. Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do for high school football.
You got it.
Thank
pal.
you, Mike,
All right,
very
Mike
much.
Fitzgerald joins us from Marist. And again, Joe, just one of the younger coaches that you saw coming, and he was going to be a big time guy, and he definitely is a big time guy and a big time
winner.
coach.
He's just a winner.
He's won everywhere he's been.
Yep.
You know, going
Just a
back, I
winner.
remember he was an assistant at Naperville North for a while, and you just knew this guy's going to be a head coach.
Yes.
And he's going to be a good one, and he has definitely lived up to it. This team kind of sneaky a little bit with Marist.
I think so,
it's a
too.
kind of team. You know, last year not a great year for them. I think they were very young. I think just a couple of things didn't come together.
Lost
for
some
him,
close
and
games.
Give Fitz credit, comes in, gets it clicking. But, you know, I think the timing's helping Mr. Fitzgerald this year a little bit because I think a lot of the pieces were in place for them to bounce back and
Yes.
have a year. I think we talked about it, Joe and Evan. We talked about it. The offense has to show up. The passing
Yes.
game has to show up. You have to have all weapons on board to beat a team like Marist.
They're going to face a team that physically matches up with them.
I need to stop seeing uncharacteristic mistakes from Joel Catholic.
Yeah.
Because we've seen motion penalties before with the double wing. We know that's part of it. You run the ball as much as they do. There's going to be holding penalties. I'm talking about the mistakes like having to burn timeouts because you were getting close to a delay of game because the conversation on the sideline with the quarterback was going on too long, or trying to run 2 minute
You gotta
and
click.
guys not knowing where to line up. This is
Yes.
week 3. This is week 4. Those types of mistakes shouldn't be happening on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, and again, this is a kind of team that kind of just makes that 10 times worse because they're the kind of team they're going to take that turnover, that mistake, and they're going to march down the field and score on you. So you better be ready. If you do turn over, you're going to have to fight and scratch to make sure they're not taking full advantage of it. That's what good teams do.
Yeah, this is one of those teams, and it's cliche to say, but you give them the ball at your 45-yard line and give that offense only 45 yards instead of 90, you are in for a long night.
His deal is the offensive side of the ball with Fitz is what he does. He's an offensive guy, and I'm telling you, they're well coached. The playbook's very deep. I'm sure there's some things that no one has seen out of them this year that they're going to roll out tomorrow night. That's how they roll.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Joe, looking forward to it?
Yo,
absolutely.
Immensely. And Evan, you agree with me if the Joliet Catholic defense, I know Fenwick scored late in the game.
They played well.
And Jaworski tipped the pass, the 2-point conversions, but from the middle of the second quarter on, Joliet Catholic's defense was outstanding.
They were phenomenal.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to need that kind of effort tomorrow night.
They really played well.
But the reason why Fenwick scored late, the offense had a couple 3-and-outs in a row.
Right.
And that unit was on the field entirely too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, they were,
And if
they were
you're
a
on the
little
field,
gassed in.
and Marist, they're going to spread you out, and they're going to use tempo.
Yes.
And
They're
I
gonna
watch,
go no
right.
huddle.
I watched them against Morgan Park, and Joe, he does exactly what he wants to do on offense. And you mentioned the balance, and that's exactly what they want out of that offense. You could tell how deliberate they are. As look, we're going to run the ball, we're going to establish a run. Once they get it going, okay, a little play action here, a little play action there, just kind of a little dinking and dunking, but it works.
And that addition of Mr. Ritter coming over there,
Big, absolutely.
That's huge for
Absolutely.
for Fitz.
All right. We appreciate everybody listening, being a part of the show. Always great to have you with us. Again, kickoff tomorrow, 7:30. Friday Night Lights, it's 6:05. The pregame show, 7:30 kickoff. For the coach, Joe Rodriguero, for Evan Bredesen, I'm Edgy Tim. Thanks, everybody. You've been listening to the Week 4 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports. Good night, everybody.